Welcome, everybody, to our public council meeting. We have a fine crowd in the room. Regrets from the deputy mayor, regrets from Councillor Locke. So we're going to get through a very, very quick meeting. But first, we have 5 proclamations. And initially, we have to do the agenda, council. So I'd like a motion, please, to approve the agenda. Moved by Councillor Fry, seconded by Councillor Lane. All in favor? Those opposed? And we are carried. Let me start off with the land acknowledgement. And in recognition of the City of Mount Pearl's commitment to foster respectful and collaborative relationships with Indigenous peoples here in the City of Mount Pearl and beyond, we hereby acknowledge that the land on which we gather is the ancestral and unceded territory of the Beothuk and the Mi'kmaq. Mount Pearl and the broader metro region excuse me, continue to be home to diverse Indigenous peoples, including First Nations, Inuit, and Métis. Council, moving through that agenda, we've got a set of minutes there. Any errors or omissions in that or the action report? Hearing none, I'm going to call for a motion. Moved by Councillor Antle, second by Councillor Rice. All in favor of the minutes? Contraminded? Carried. Business arising, please. Okay. No business arising. Let's move through the agenda. And we're here today to welcome, on behalf of Fibromyalgia Awareness Day, which is May the 12th, which is not far off. We have Trudy Flynn. Hi, Trudy. Would you like to come up? Well, that was a quick. Have you got your license changed too? Come on up then. Cindy Christopher, is it? Oh, well, welcome aboard. What happened to Trudy? Well, good for her.
That's what she does.
Thanks for coming. I'll give you the microphone. Whereas fibromyalgia is a complex illness with symptoms that vary widely and may include debilitating chronic pain, overwhelming fatigue, and cognitive impairment. And whereas there is no known cause of or cure for fibromyalgia, and Fibromyalgia Awareness Day is an opportunity to raise awareness and to show support for those living with FM, as we call it sometimes, and their families. Fibromyalgia Association Canada is the only national organization in Canada that supports both FM research and services for people with FM and their families. Fibromyalgia affects about 5% of the Canadian population, which is over 2 million men, women, and children of all ages and races that are afflicted with this chronic illness. And whereas people with FM have a right to be treated with dignity and are afflicted, and have a right to pain relief. Therefore, I, the Mayor of Mount Pearl, I'm going to sign this proclamation on behalf of my colleagues on council. And it's good to see you. Thank you for coming in. And so you got volunteered at the last minute, maybe?
No, I am.
Would you speak?
Hi, I am the Newfoundland Labrador representative for Fibromyalgia Association Canada. Trudy Flynn is our chair, and she is in Nova Scotia. That's where she lives. We have different representatives all across Canada. Fibromyalgia happens to be, as was just mentioned, I believe they're an invisible illness. It's not something that we have a cause for yet or a cure. And it's not something that, unfortunately, we're able to push through. You don't necessarily realize, because it's invisible, what somebody with fibromyalgia may be going through. It affects more women than men. And it's something that, if, for example, I take on doing my whole kitchen or something, I may be down for weeks. You know, simple activities can set you back for a long period of time. We just don't have the ability to push through things. So I really do thank you today for, you know, honoring us and signing our proclamation there. And I understand you're also going to light up purple for us this evening, which we truly appreciate as well. And members of the fibromyalgia community in Newfoundland and Labrador are aware of your efforts in that as well. I've posted for them, and so has our Association for Canada. Thank you.
No, thank you very much for coming and sharing that. And we're happy to proclaim today, just in the nick of time, Fibromyalgia Day here. And we will light City Hall up tonight um, in your favor, so to speak. And we'll take time to reflect on all the good things that can come from volunteer organizations like this to make change, right? Can we do a picture? We can help promote that as well. Okay, all right, here we go.
So that I can share it.
Council, there's 5 seasons in this fine city. There's winter, spring, summer, and autumn, and proclamation season. And we're always looking at the community. But one of the biggest service providers, I once said this to a minister of the Crown there last week, the second biggest service provider in the public sector is the municipal sector. And I know Municipal Awareness Week is ongoing, I believe. But we also have what's called National Public Works Week. And we have a proclamation here. And I think, Director Delmont, once I read this, you're gonna respond to it. That makes sense. And anybody else, of course, can chime in too. So whereas public works professionals focus on infrastructure, facilities, and services that are of vital importance to sustainable and resilient communities and to public health, high quality of life, and well-being of our people here in Newfoundland and Labrador. And whereas these infrastructure, facilities, and services could not be provided without the dedicated efforts of public works professionals who are engineers, managers, and employees at all levels of government and the private sector who are responsible for rebuilding, improving, protecting our nation's own transportation, our water supply, water treatment, and solid waste systems, public buildings, and other structures and facilities essential for our citizens. Whereas it is in the public interest for the citizens, civic leaders, and children to gain knowledge and to maintain an ongoing interest and understanding of the importance of public works and public works programs in their respective communities. And whereas the year 2026 marks the 66th annual National Public Works Week, sponsored by the American Public Works Association and the Canadian Public Works Association. Be it now resolved that I, the Mayor of Mount Pearl, on behalf of my colleagues, who are all public works professionals, I might add, do hereby designate the week of May 17th to 23rd as National Public Works Week. I urge all citizens to join with our representatives of the public works associations and government agencies in activities, events, and ceremonies designed to pay tribute to our public works professionals, engineers, managers, and employees, and to recognize the substantial contributions they make to protecting our national health, safety, and advancing the quality of life. And in witness thereof, I'm going to sign this on behalf of my colleagues on council, dated today. I'm not sure what the color is for Public Works, but I meant what I said to Director Dolomont. You have taught us well, not just you, but the entire staff here at the City of Mount Pearl. And I'd just like to know when we're going to finally get Public Works in the high schools, because, it's something that people don't understand. You're in the people serving business, but people don't necessarily perceive it that way because you have all the pipes and the wheels and the hot water tanks and the problems and the potholes, and the snowplow operators are great at what we do here in the city. We celebrate public works. Sir, I'm going to hand it over to you, and then council, if you want to chime in, then we'll do a picture. All yours, Director Dolomont.
Well, thank you very much, Mayor. And Yeah, seeing this is a very important topic, obviously, for Public Works. We're very proud of the services that we provide to the city. And as I spoke earlier, I know some of the service we provide, I guess it just goes on without saying, and no one really notices it until the water stops running or the streets are not plowed. So, as a segue into that, I just wanted to give you a very quick overview of some of the uh, services that we provide. So right now, the City of Mount Pearl's Public Works Department operate within the vicinity of 87 staff persons. That's involving everybody from horticulturists to directors and superintendents and so forth, and heavy equipment operators, laborers, etc. Some of the core services that we do provide is garbage recycling. In the area of 9,600 residential properties that we pick up on a weekly basis. Uh, just in that division alone, we run five regular trucks on a daily basis, which exists of 12 garbage routes and 8 recycling routes. And a segue to that as well, we also pick up all the garbage and recycling from 10 city facilities twice a week. An obvious one, given the winter, which seemed to hang on, is our snow clearing, ice management, and this time of year, street sweeping. So just to keep the approximately 270 lane kilometers of roads within the city of Mount Pearl open with any amount of, if there's any amount of snow or ice, it takes a huge team with a lot of equipment to keep all that safe and operational, not only for our residents, but emergency vehicles and everything in between. That also includes keeping sidewalks clear and just an idea of we have 800 plus fire hydrants that we have to maintain after a snow event. So just for the security and safety for everybody involved. Also, we do trail grooming, which has been a very positive influx in the past number of years, and it's very important given our 60 kilometers of trails. Another division within Public Works is our parks, where we main, again, as I noted, 60 kilometers of trails, a multitude of landscaped areas, a team of 2 horticulturists to do all our flowers, trees, uh, multiple playgrounds of 50. Our crew do the installs and everything of new playgrounds as well. A commemorative bench and tree program, city events, and the list goes on. Within our water and sewer department, which we refer to as a UTM department, we maintain and repairs of city infrastructure, leak detection, 140 plus kilometers of water lines, sewer lines, 2,600-ish catch basins, pump station, lift stations, water towers, pressure reducing valves. And just to keep all this rolling within our fleet department, we're in the vicinity of 110 vehicles, and our staff maintain everything from garbage trucks, recycling trucks, pickup trucks, vac trucks, loaders, backhoes, flyers, snow blowers, and the list goes on. And that's just within our Public Works Department in the city of Mount Pearl.
Like, sir, I even see you got a bunch of engineers in the Public Works Proclamation. How did you manage that? That's pretty good, eh? Wow. Nice to see support from some of your teammates. And I got Councillor Fry as the lead of Public Works, and then our CAO, Rideout.
Thank you, Your Worship. These are the kind of things that we all take for granted. We turn on our tap, we want to get a drink of water, and it's there, and it's clean. And we flush our toilet, and it just goes away. All of these things that we take for granted. And I can tell you, there was one time, it was probably 4 or 5 years ago. It was Christmas Day, and we had a big snowstorm. And all I could think about as I sat down and had my Christmas dinner with my family were all of those staff members who were out keeping our streets clean so that emergency vehicles could get to somebody if they needed help. And I think that's that's the kind of thing that we often take for granted, and it's something that is so important. And I mean, even I'm impressed with what he just said. All of the services and all of the things that we do. We have so much to be proud of here in Mount Pearl, And I just want to send a big thank you to our director. You can tell by the way he spoke how passionate he is. And I can tell you that we get a lot of complaints, and every now and then we get a nice compliment. And that means so much because people take things for granted, but when they feel strong enough to take the time to write in something nice, it's certainly meaningful. And we do get a lot of those. I know I forwarded a number to our staff because they're the best, and we have a lot to be thankful for here, and especially our director. Thank you.
No, thank you very much. They're a bunch of problem solvers, I got to say. Over to you, CAO.
Thank you, Mayor. I can't let the meeting go by, even though I know we're trying to be quick without sending and echoing what Council's saying around Public Works. But Glenn, I have to say, you just completely, as I knew you would, glazed over the impact that Public Works has on city events and our day-to-day operations. And I don't think that we can let this meeting go by without acknowledging that. And even today, or yesterday, sorry, we had a cheer to put together, and the team was right there. So even putting furniture for offices together to, we think about it and, you attend a Frosty Festival or a City Days event or a Pride in the Park event or, a marketing, communications, and economic development launch, and who is setting that up lots of times and making sure that they're there on site for a smooth operation, and that's Public Works. Public Works is at the heart of our service delivery, and I think that your team, who work incredibly hard, I think about all of our staff, you, the superintendent, our 4 persons whose phones don't turn off. It's a 24/7, 365 operation, and we're incredibly grateful for that. So thank you, Glenn.
So next week, the 17th to the 23rd, will be declared Rooted in Service, Powered by Community, National Public Works Week. And if you'd join us for a picture, that would be even better. Nobody else want to speak? Time is of the essence tonight. Must be something on the go tonight, right, Alex? All right, let's do a snack. Next item on the agenda is World Schizophrenia Awareness Day. And I see down there, we've got Susan here. Sarah is not. You have, but I think you have another teammate. Sarah, I'm looking at Sarah Furlong here. Just you? Do you have company you want to come up to, or your call? Yep. Well, come on aboard. We used to have one. We reduced it for accessibility purposes, right? Good to see you, Susan.
Pleasure.
All right, let's do some reading first. So where schizophrenia and psychotic illnesses are serious brain disorders that affect how a person thinks, feels, and behaves, impacting individuals, families, and communities. And where schizophrenia and related psychotic disorders affect approximately 1 in 100 people worldwide and can have a profound impact on individuals and loved ones. And whereas early intervention, access to treatment, peer support, education, and community understanding are essential in helping individuals living with schizophrenia and psychosis lead meaningful and productive lives. And where stigma and misunderstanding surrounding schizophrenia and psychosis remain significant barriers to seeking help, receiving treatment, and achieving recovery. Whereas organizations such as the Society of Newfoundland and Labrador work to provide advocacy, peer support, education, and resources to individuals and families affected by schizophrenia and psychosis again in our community. Therefore, I, the Mayor of Mount Pearl, we do hereby proclaim with my colleagues the May 24th, 2026 to be World Schizophrenia and Psychosis Awareness Day in the city of Mount Pearl. And we encourage all of our residents to increase their understanding, and support those affected and help reduce stigma associated with mental illness. And further, be it resolved that Mount Pro City Hall, you're not going to believe this, will be illuminated in purple during the week of May 24th to show support for individuals living with schizophrenia and psychosis and promote awareness and understanding within our community. I got the email. Am I pronouncing it properly? Is it schizophrenia or frenia?
That's how I say it, but I mean, schizophrenia, I've heard that too, especially in the UK. Okay, so first of all, let me thank you so much for having me or allowing me to come here and present this proclamation and for your support of it. There's only a couple of little things I wanted to say because the proclamation is, you know, we worked really hard on that to make sure we covered all the bases. So one time I was doing a presentation in front of the Newfoundland and Labrador Health Services Board of Trustees, and I had 5 minutes. I only have 2 today. Which is fine. I can do 2. So, you know, I was doing my presentation, and what I really wanted to do is make them cry, because I felt like if I made them laugh or I made them cry, that they would remember my message, right? So, and I did. 3 of them were crying. It was, you know, I wasn't being mean about it, but anyway, there was another person there who was a politician, former politician. I think he was a premier at one point, and he kind of interrupted, took part of my 5 minutes, and he said, when he was premier, he found out he had cancer. And all of a sudden, all these offers, you know, can we mow your lawn? Can we take your kids to school? Can we bring food? You know, it was just this outpouring of support. And he said, now, what if I had said I had schizophrenia? And it was just dead silence. So that's the message I want to bring today, is that we do stigma, anti-stigma kind of things like we're doing today, but what we're really trying to do is change the way that people look at schizophrenia. So it's a brain disease. It's like other brain diseases. It's complicated. It has a total impact on the family life and the kind of life that they get to live. So if you get a call from somebody, and I know you'll do this, but you know, who says they have a family with someone with schizophrenia, you know, just have them call me, okay? Treat it like it's something that can be recovered from, right? So that's it. I think that's 2 minutes, maybe.
Have all the time you want. It's easy for me to say, but no, thank you very much for
Yeah.
sharing that message. And,
Yeah.
did you make anybody laugh?
Oh, yeah. I'm all about that. I actually was a patient at the Waterford for a couple months, and I made a goal that I live with bipolar, and I made a goal that I was going to do a stand-up comedy routine on being at the Waterford, because it's the only way best way I can say that you can fight stigma is to own it. Yeah, I was there. I had a T-shirt that said, "I survived the Waterford," you know, like that's the way I want to look at it, you know. I know we're talking about serious stuff, which is all the reason why we have to have a laugh every now and again to relieve the
Dark
tension.
humor
So
can be effective sometimes.
it is, yeah. I'll come back and do a little stint next time.
Councilor Rice? Yeah. Yeah, no, oh, please. Councilor Rice wants.
Okay.
So I'm retired from healthcare now. So I was facility manager at the Waterford Hospital for a couple of years. So I dealt with a lot of people on the units on the wards. So the warning signs. So 2 questions. So how would you, I guess, adapt to like the signs, warning signs of someone's schizophrenia? And how would a person with schizophrenia, I guess they have their items in their toolbox that they use to cope with coping skills, I guess. So, yeah.
One of the projects that we're working on now too has to do with all the schools in Newfoundland and Labrador, which is about early psychosis. And so how can guidance counselors and teachers and family members recognize? It's really difficult because sometimes the early signs are not having good hygiene. Teenagers sometimes don't have good hygiene. You know, how can they're hidden or they're isolating themselves or they're not doing well in school all of a sudden. And so those are the things that if there's some kind of behavior change, and we really strongly believe in family members being informed. So as soon as they know something's going on with psychosis or schizophrenia, I want to help give them the tools so they know how to communicate, so they know how to basically save their child's life. So, yeah. But usually, like general signs of schizophrenia can be very different for everybody. But any kind of psychosis, hearing things, seeing things, tasting things differently, yeah. So I have the best job in the world because I get to work on that. Thank you so much for your questions, and thank you for your service at the Waterford.
So 12 days from today
Yeah.
is the day.
Yes, sir.
World Schizophrenia and Psychosis Awareness Day.
Yep.
And we shall light up City Hall with color.
I can't wait. I'll be out there taking
What color?
pictures. Purple.
Okay, don't do it.
Thank you, sir.
Let's do a picture.
Okay, perfect.
Well, the next proclamation is not going to be purple. I want everybody to know that it's likely going to be red, and it's a proclamation for MS Awareness Month. And that's, I think that's going to be brought to us by Zeta Kavanaugh Taylor, who is a multiple sclerosis leader here in the city, in the region, in the province, and happens to live in Powers Pond too. And she has red on. So come on up, bring up your entourage. It's so great to see you. Thanks, guys. Good to see you. Where you going next? Ready? Whereas multiple sclerosis is a neurological disease affecting approximately 1 in 4 Canadians and over 90,000 people across the country. And whereas multiple sclerosis symptoms vary widely, and the disease may cause symptoms such as fatigue, lack of coordination, weakness, tingling, impaired sensation, vision problems, bladder and bowel problems, and cognitive and mood changes. And whereas MS is thought to be caused by a combination of genetic, environmental, and lifestyle risk factors. Whereas MS Canada is the only national organization here in Canada that supports both MS research and services for people affected by MS. And whereas annual fundraising events such as the MS Walk, the MS Bike, and A&W Canada's Burgers to Beat MS campaign support programs to enhance the lives of people affected by multiple sclerosis and to help support MS research here in Canada. Whereas since 1948, MS Canada has provided over $224 million for MS research, and we are grateful for the dedication and commitment of supporters and volunteers that have made this possible. Whereas together we will find ways to connect and empower the MS community to create positive change and to see a world free of multiple sclerosis. Therefore, I, the Mayor of Mount Pearl, on behalf of my colleagues here in the city of Mount Pearl, we do hereby proclaim the entire month of May 2026 to be MS Awareness Month for MS Canada. And I'm going to sign that. And I'm going to allocate the microphone to you, Zeta. I know you've been here so many times before, but you've been instrumental too, Zeta, in creating a lot of local research, haven't you?
Well, thank you very much. Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Councillor. Thank you always. Every year we come here and you're supporting us, and you're always at every event that we have for multiple sclerosis and that. And so we're so grateful for all that. Right now, I'd like to take a minute in this month and recognize a researcher, a very well-known doctor, a researcher that we lost, didn't we? Just a few weeks ago? Yeah, a few weeks ago, Dr. Michelle Plowham. She was with, worked at the Miller Center Research. She did a lot of work with MS, with all of us MS people. And unfortunately, we lost her through, she started off like, yeah, and she did the research that mostly, like when we go down to the Miller Center, we will be into exercises and that, wouldn't we? And she did all that kind of research, very supportive of MS, always working with people with MS, always to our events, and brought us to a big high level in research where we are today. And we lost her a few weeks ago through cancer. We did. So yeah, we will feel her loss, but we know she left good team behind to with her knowledge that she gave them, that we're in good hands. We have our MS Walk, like the mayor said, coming up on May 31st, and that's held at the Reed Center every year, City Mount Pearl. We have MS support group. We're back in person now. I'm the MS support leader. And Nancy's the MS coordinator for the support group too. It's open to people living with MS, people that's waiting for diagnosis of MS, and family and caregivers. Sometimes being with a support group, the MS, when you come to a MS support group, sometimes the person that got MS do not feel like they're ready to go to a support group. But maybe the family member will want to come by themselves or with someone else to learn how to deal with it, because multiple sclerosis don't only affect the person that have it, it affects the whole family. It do. So we thank you again. And oh yes, we do have a tree planted in St. David's Field of multiple sclerosis. Remember that, Mayor? We did. We planted a tree, and it's nice because you can go down there, sit down, have a coffee, have a little tea or something. It's really nice, and you see your tree bloom, and it's a lovely plaque by it. So thank you again. So thank you all for your support, and yeah, check out MS Canada website, and you'll get all our events that's going to be going on. Thank you.
Now, before you go,
Yeah.
I think Councillor Antle wanted to make a comment, and maybe more, I don't know.
Thank you very much, Your Worship. Yes, Zita and Nancy, thank you all for what you do. Deepest condolences for your loss for one of your leaders. MS, I think myself and Councillor Fry and all of us have been involved with MS thanks to you. It's 9 years, I think, we've been going to your association. You included us in multiple sclerosis. We know more about that because of you.
Thank you.
Every group, you said to me earlier on, you're small but mighty. You are small but mighty. If every group had a Zita and a Nancy, I tell you, the world would be better off. I saw Alex. Alex started off, I think he was 5 or 6 years old, and we taught him how to sing. He seemed after catching on. You're doing all right. But see, your group has done so much. Each one of these associations, each one of these fundraisers, I think each one of us have showed up there, and we have fun. And I think that's the key.
Yeah.
You have fun at your association. You spread a lot of awareness. And, on behalf of us, thank you very much for what you do.
Thank you.
Every association needs a Zita.
Thank you. I remember Alex. Alex is our young supporter, and our youth. We grab our youth in with us. And so Alex came to council, and I pick him up from kindergarten and come down to have to do the proclamation. And he said, "I'll speak." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, what's he going to say?" And then he would speak. Yes, he is. Yes, he is my son.
Councillor Rice.
Thank you, Zita and Nancy and Alex for coming in. Michelle Plowman was a personal friend of mine, and I was shocked when I heard about Michelle.
Yeah.
And I was project manager actually when I set up the Brain Injury Association down at the Miller Center on the 4th floor.
Yeah.
We did all the work for her, and the work that she has done
It's
is
amazing.
absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
She was quite a person.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I was really in shock when I heard it, and I certainly condolences go out to the whole family and you guys as well. Thanks
you.
for coming in. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, so I think we'll do a snap
Yeah. we'll do
with
so.
your permission. Yeah, so do we, actually. We have a bit of work. We got a bit of work. We got a bit of work left to do. Ready? Rolling right along with Proclamation Month. The next proclamation is from Inclusion Newfoundland and Labrador, and it's known as National Accessibility Awareness Week. And I'm very happy to see Amanda Lush in the crowd, and she's going to come up now as we do the proclamation. And, we do learn something every time, Council, from all this, don't we? Sometimes the faces are the same, right, Zita? Sometimes the faces are new. And each person leaves a little bit of an impact on our council and through social media. Good to see you again. Thank you. And a little bit of social media spreads a little bit of the good word. Whereas National Accessibility Awareness Week is a time to recognize the importance of making our communities open, welcoming, and accessible to everyone, including people with disabilities. Whereas accessibility means making sure people can fully participate in everyday life, at work, at school, and in the community. This includes removing barriers in buildings, transportation, communication, and attitudes. The week of May 31st to June 6th, it will be celebrated by the contributions of people with disabilities and raise awareness of the challenges they may face. We also encourage everyone to learn more about accessibility and take action to create inclusive spaces for all. Together, we can build a community where everyone feels respected, included, and able to participate. Now, on behalf of the City of Mount Pearl and my colleagues on council, I'm going to sign this proclamation. May 31st to the 6th of June is National Accessibility Awareness Week here in the City of Mount Pearl. And I'll sign that. Today's date is the 12th, I think. Amanda, I read something here about changing attitudes. How does that sound? Is that a really good starting point?
So National Accessibility Awareness Week is very important, especially to us, Inclusion NL. We are, of course, the corporate group that works underneath Empower, which is a cross-disability organization in Newfoundland and Labrador. Attitude is the biggest barrier that people will face. A lot of people don't even realize that they may have a barrier when it comes to the attitude of recognizing people's disabilities, or what may work for one person may not work for another person. We actually had a conversation earlier, me and one of the ladies here in the audience, and she didn't even recognize that she had a disability. So it's very important to contribute and partake in anything you can when it comes to learning about being more inclusive and accessible. And we're always around if anyone needs any help.
Oh, you can't say it any better than that. Anybody on council want to respond to that? I know if the deputy mayor was here, I know she would, but she's unable to make it tonight. But I must say, in a little way or two, our attitudes here at the city have somewhat changed as well, because you actually have to experience it with a friend, with a colleague, and I know, Councillor Rice, you've been on a committee here along with our city clerk, Stephanie, about accessibility, and like we've changed to a new boardroom. We've lowered this platform here to make it more accessible. We're about to make improvements to the washroom accessibility at the Glacier, and there's others. And but by working together and listening to folks like you, and also looking at our friends and our families, I think it's really important that we don't take anything for granted, including those who are marginalized.
It's very true. We've been in a partnership with the city of Mount Pearl for a very long time now. We've worked with you on everything from Frosty Festival to your summer events that you have, to actually coming in and helping you do reviews on your buildings and things like that. And also we've done training for council members and staff as well. So we really do appreciate the partnership that we have, and we look forward to continue building it and hopefully building it with other people as well in other communities.
Okay, the proclamation is done. Let's do a picture and help promote it. Do you have a color for City Hall? Teal?
No, it's no. There's
No color.
They say the color is red. So look it up.
Red it is, Scott.
Yeah.
Red.
They say it's red.
I'll take the inside mark. Yeah.
I do up here.
Right in the middle.
Of course.
Perfect.
Good seeing you.
Sure, Charlie, see you again. Well, all good. Thank you guys. Always nice to see you too. Thanks again. Coming in. Probably see you again. Real soon, I'm sure.
20 days, I guess, next one.
Motion to adjourn? Bill, second Isabel's motion to adjourn. Okay, now, we have business to do as well. And the first thing we're going to do is the corporate services report. Councillor Antle, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. Now we got to pay some bills. And the first one there are invoices for approval totaling $1,171,154.51. And if you look at your kit, there's a few there that are quite high. It was water consumption for March 2026 for $257,352. And then we have wastewater, which is $257,000. And the one that I'm sure Director Dalamont is quite happy is we bought a new loader for $335,000. So we're ready for next winter. We're good to go. And I so move.
It is moved by Councillor Antle and seconded normally be Councillor Locke. And then we go to Deputy Mayor Kiley. So I think I'm going to pick on Mr. Councillor Rice, please. Would you second it? Thank you. All right, we have a motion on the floor for the invoices. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
And the next one there is our payment register, and this is for your information only. It's there in your kit. You can take a look at them, and it's a total of $2,188,671.64. Any questions? None. I'll move to the third one. Is regarding our half application. It's a homeowners act. I'm going too fast. Oh. Just a quick background on the Housing Accelerator Fund. This is a partnership with the federal government to help address the housing crisis throughout the country. This program is aimed at building homes quickly. The focus is on high density As part of the Housing Accelerator Fund program, the City of Mount Pearl has announced a suite of offerings to prospective developers and non-profit entities. The city has received one eligible application for this time frame for an interesting party to use the Housing Accelerator Fund. Applicants can apply for up to $10,000 under the and for total project cost dispersed on receiving their occupancy permit on the homeowner incentive program. You can see there in your kit there is one for 18 Westminster Drive for a half eligibility for $10,000, and I so move.
It is moved by Councillor Antle, second by Councillor Rice. Any questions, comments? It's fairly routine, just requires an approval under the program. Okay, I'll call the question. All in favor? Opposed? Carried.
And that's it for my committee. We'll move on to Public Works. Thank you, Your Worship.
Okay, Public Works, the lead is Councillor Fry.
So our report this evening is just for the information of the public. It's a Public Works status report. So just to give you an idea of some of the things that our Public Works team does, our roads division, repairs on maintenance holes, catch basins, curbs, sidewalks, and asphalt are underway. Street and sidewalk sweeping is ongoing, and a big one this time of year is litter cleanup. For our parks division, the trail maintenance is ongoing, and spring maintenance on sports fields has started because they're going to be in use really soon. They're also, of course, participating in litter cleanup. And our fleet division is ongoing service and maintenance. Winter equipment is being serviced and stored, and summer equipment is being serviced and prepared for the season. For our UTM division, we always have our general calls and water and sewer repairs. We have leak detection, fire hydrant repairs, lift station inspections and maintenance. And as you can see in your kit, the water levels at Babel's Big Pond as of May 4th are very healthy, probably the highest it's been in the last number of years. So that's it for our status report. Next on our agenda, we have the bulk garbage coming up. So in the spring, we always have our free bulk garbage. And for the information and attention and consideration of council and the public, we have 5 weeks of free bulk garbage that starts on May 19th. And the paid bulk garbage collection will be open to residents for scheduling on the below dates. So it's Tuesday, September the 8th, Monday, September the 14th, Monday, September the 21st, Monday, September the 28th, Monday, October the 5th, and Tuesday, October the 13th. So while we do have our free bulk garbage collection in the spring, we do have available bulk garbage service, and this fee for the bulk garbage in the fall will remain at $25 per service. Finally, we have something new. I'm just going to open this up here. Oh, there's lots of buzz about this one. On November the 7th, the Committee of the Whole reviewed a proposal for the Be Kind project. And the Be Kind project is a city-led initiative to distribute native and naturalized wildflower seeds to residents, schools, seniors, and volunteer organizations and community groups. And this is to help create pollinator-friendly spaces in Mount Pearl. The project will support local biodiversity, aligns with best practices for pollinator-friendly parks, and empowers residents to contribute to environmental sustainability. So since 2023, our city's horticulturist has researched and met with a local resident who has an incredible knowledge on bees and is willing to assist the city in its next steps. So the primary campaign goals is to increase public awareness of pollinators and the importance of native plants, to encourage residents to plant wildflower patches and expand habitat, to foster community participation through schools, youth groups, seniors, and volunteer organizations and community groups, and to support the city's sustainable objectives in our municipal plan engagement. The secondary campaign goals is to highlight Mount Pearl's leadership in local environmental initiatives. Also to strengthen long-term opportunities for pollinator habit creation, so parks, greenways, and medians, those types of things, and to provide clear, accessible planting and care instructions. So the first step of this Be Kind, and I will highlight that that is BEE. The first step of our Be Kind project is providing residents with seed packets that they can plant on their properties. The seed packets will be accompanied by an instruction sheet and any necessary signage. So these seed packets will be provided to residents at seed kiosks at City Hall, the Glacier, and the Summit Center, as well as spring event giveaways during Earth Day and our 20-minute makeover in City Days. So these seed packets will also be distributed to schools, youth groups, seniors, and volunteer organizations and community groups. The packets will be purchased through the Northern Wildflowers and will include available native species such as flat-topped white aster, black-eyed Susan, New England aster, and goldenrods, and are appropriate for Mount Pearl's prevailing dry, sunny conditions, as described in internal considerations for recommended seed mixes for dry sites. So this is something, there's a lot of work and information gone into this. The cost for 1,000 seed packets is $2,050, and these packets will be branded by the City of Mount Pearl's marketing and communications team. So there's so much here, but moving forward with this purchase, we'll expand naturalization efforts in city parks using guidance from the Pollinator Parks report on meadows, marginal spaces, and connective habitat corridors. We'll develop permanent demonstration pollinator bees, and if desired, move the City of Mount Pearl one step closer to a potential Bee City Canada registration. And that's it for our report this week. Thank you, Your Worship.
No, thank you very much. We're going to now do the recreation report. Councillor Lane.
Thank you very much. The first item on our report is the upcoming annual pool shutdown. The annual pool shutdown has been scheduled for June 14th to July 5th, 2026. During this period, the Department of Recreation and Community Safety will work closely with the facilities maintenance team to complete required maintenance, repairs, and the replacement of the pool deck and mechanical equipment. This work is essential to ensure the continued safety, reliability, and quality of the facility. We appreciate the public patience and understanding while this important work is carried out. The next item in our report is Accessibility Week 2026. And this is for information purposes. Accessibility Week will be recognized across the City of Mount Pearl from May 31st to June 6, 2026. During this week, the department will host several initiatives aimed at raising awareness, promoting inclusion, and highlighting community supports available to residents. Planned activities include a community resource fair, Red Shirt Day, and a free Century Swim, all of which align in the city's commitment to accessibility, inclusion, and community well-being. National Accessibility Week provides an opportunity to recognize the importance of creating inclusive environments and reducing barriers for individuals with disabilities and support needs. By hosting a community resource fair and inclusive recreation opportunities, the City of Mount Pearl aims to increase public awareness of local accessibility supports, strengthen partnerships with community organizations, promote inclusive recreation and community engagement, and provide residents with direct access to information and resources. So the planned Accessibility Week initiatives include the Accessibility Community Resource Fair, which is happening on May 25th from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Annex. It will feature 15 external organizations who will be participating to showcase their programs, services, and resources that support accessibility and inclusion. This event will be open to residents of Mount Pearl and surrounding communities and will provide opportunity to share resources, to learn about supports, and to build partnerships. Secondly, there's the Red Shirt Day, which is happening Wednesday, June 3rd, 2026. Red Shirt Day will recognize through a social media post and internal staff email encouraging staff to wear red in support of accessibility awareness. And we also have a free Century Swim, which is happening June 6th from 4:45 to 5:30 p.m., but registration is required. During the Century Swim, it will be featuring dimmed light, reduced numbers, and a calm and inclusive atmosphere. And I know that there has been great attendance in these in the past, and I'm sure there will at this one as well. But make sure you register if you're interested in attending. And lastly, for the recreation report this evening is Municipal Awareness Week, Recreation. As part of ongoing efforts to encourage youth, civic awareness, and community pride, the Department of Recreation and Community Safety is organizing a series of youth-focused initiatives designed to help children and youth learn about municipal services, express what Mount Pearl means to them, and feel connected to their community. The proposed initiatives are outlined below. The first one is Shape Your City Student Idea Challenge, and this is geared towards grades 4 to 6. Students submit what they love about Mount Pearl and one idea to improve the city. Selected winners will be recognized at the start of a public council meeting with their certificate, gift card, and photo opportunity. The second is a classroom poster challenge. Elementary classrooms create one poster highlighting municipal services, why Mount Pearl is a good place to live, and how families interact with city services. The winning classroom will receive a pizza party. And third is the video and photo challenge. For ages 5 to 8, drawing or photo of a favorite place in Mount Pearl, with the prize being a bicycle. And for ages 9 to 18, create a short video titled What Mount Pearl Means to Me, and the prize would be a tablet. These initiatives encourage creativity, civic learning, and a sense of belonging across age groups. That's it for the recreation report.
May as well continue on. I think safety's next.
Okay, so there's only one item for community safety, and that's Phase 2 Solar Trail Lighting Project. As part of the continued implementation of the city's community safety and well-being plan, installation of solar lights will begin in the coming days along the trail starting near Avery Place and extending to the Team Guju complex. The public is asked to exercise caution and be mindful of construction equipment in the area over the coming weeks. This initiative reflects feedback received from the public through the CSWP, specifically under Priority Area Number 2, Safe and Inclusive Spaces. Phase 1 of the project was completed last summer along the trailway. And this is a wonderful initiative, and I know a lot of residents are really happy about the lighting, and it helps create more accessibility along our trails as well as a sense of safety. So this is great to see this happening. That's it for me this evening.
Thank you very much again, and we're going to move over to engineering. Councillor Rice.
Thank you, Worship. We had 4 in the engineering kit. Our first one is our contract extension for locksmith services, which is our TP-22-025. So the current contract ends on June the 30th, 2026. And as per the collective, city reserves the right to extend the contract by increments of 1 year for a period of up to no more than 2 years, upon the same terms and conditions provided both parties agree. Armor Lock and Security Systems has provided a satisfactory level of service and is responsive to any issues, concerns, or additional requests that the city may have. Their performance and responsiveness warrant a contract extension for a second additional year if we decide to. So staff recommend that the contract for locksmith services TP-22-025 with Armor Lock and Security Systems be extended for 1 year for the period of July the 1st, 2026 to June the 30th, 2027 for the annual bid amount of $46,934.37, HST included, using the same terms and conditions of the existing contract. And I so move.
It is moved by Councillor Rice and seconded, thank you, by Councillor Antle. What was the key to getting this approved? Any questions, comments? I'll call the question. All in favor?
All right.
Those opposed? Carried.
Thank you. Our second one is our Farrell Drive Pump House upgrade, construction change order number 1 and change order number 2. So this one, our change order number 1, in January 2026, ice formed on 2 existing 20 millimeter diameter underground temporary pumping pipe stubs. Access was required to complete the temporary pump setup for the pump house. The contractor removed the ice to access the stubs with heat tracing to work so the work could be continued. This was a critical path item and was authorized under safe authority by engineering studies services on January the 15th, 2026 to prevent delays. The pricing supplies was reasonable, and the result cost was less than the original quotations. Change order number 2 was for Cal Technical Services, scope of work including extending the new water transmission line and distribution main into Farrell Drive Pump House building from the existing stubs installed previously by the owners. This required prefabricated 90-degree elbows to make both connections. When the fabrication 90-degree elbows were delivered for installation, it was discovered that the existing piping entering the building was slightly off 90 degrees, and the exterior piping at this time was buried. And due to cold winter conditions, it was more cost-effective to modify the elbows to match existing pipe and alignment into the building. So the committee recommends that council approve construction change order number 1, which is the de-icing in the amount of $1,898.19, HST included, and also change order number 2, modification of piping in the amount of $11,469.61, which is also HST included. Both payable to Cal Technical Services to amend the existing construction contract for Farrell Drive Pump House upgrades under the contract tender 17-MYCW-22-00015, and I so move.
Councillor Rice has moved and Councillor Antle has seconded. Change order 1, change order 2. Questions? I'll call the question before council. All in favor? Oppose? Carried.
The next one is our Farrell Drive Pump House upgrade construction, a change order number 3. This one is a bit different. This is a city request, a change order that modifies the location of the discharge stainless steel piping to allow safer access for operation and maintenance. The original design piping layout created obstruction for maintenance personnel to access the supply and discharge pits in the pump house. This change order corrects this issue, and the interior supply and discharge pipe installation is a critical path for the schedule. So a timely approval is required to maintain the schedule. So the committee recommends that council approve change order number 3 in the amount of $22,474.85, HST included, payable to Cal Technical Services to amend the existing construction contract for Farrell Drive Pump House upgrades, which is tender number 17-MYCW-22-00015, and I so move.
Moved by Councillor Rice, and thank you. Second by Councillor Antle. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thanks.
Thank you. Our next one is our accuracy permit listing. I'll just load it up there now. This is for information which was already pre-approved by our engineering director. You'll see 6 in your kit there. It's just for information purposes only. And that's it for our report in engineering, Your Worship. Thank you.
You may as well stand at the microphone again, because we have now the Planning and Development Department, aspect, and Councillor Locke is not here, so back to you, sir.
Thank you, Worship. Our next one is our Tavern Place, our multi-year water tower. Great news to come to the table this evening. The water tower could be considered as a civic use or a service as public utility under the city's development regulations for the purpose of applications. So the city received an application from Dexter Construction for a new municipal water storage tank and associated site work to accommodate infrastructure upgrades to support future development in Mount Pearl. As part of these upgrades, a new water tower is proposed on the parcel location at Severn Tavern Place, with the water tower situated approximately 350 meters east of the cul-de-sac. Staff classified the water tower as a civic use under the city's development. So the committee recommends that the council approve the water tower development and authorize an insurance of a development permit, and I so move.
Moved by Councillor Rice, second by Councillor Antle. Any questions? I'll call the question before council. All in favor? Contrary-minded? Carried.
Next one is our, this is great news also, is a, this is a, from 9/12 to 9/28 Black Marsh Road, a public hearing about a commissioner's report. Just going to go back now 1 second to this one. So this is I'll just read the information on the report, and I'll go to the approval there. So just to give you some background on this one. The City of Mount Pearl submitted a Section 15 review request to the Provincial Department of Municipal and Community Affairs for the proposed redesignation of land located at the civic address of 912 to 928 Blackmarsh Road from the mixed use designated to residential designation municipal amendment number 27, 2024 to the rezone to a commercial mixed use zone to apartment zone and development regulations amendment under number 75, 2024. The rezoning will permit the whole property and be redeveloped as a 51-unit row house development consisting of 9 quadruplexes and 5 triplexes. So the public hearing briefing session was mailed out July 2024. Notice of public hearing section ad was in the Shoreline in July the 5th, 2024. Representation received from the public we had 9 emails received from the public. The briefing session on this one was July 23, July 23rd, 2024. And so Section 15 reviewed, submitted to the Department of Municipal Affairs, which was March the 31st, 2025. Section 15 reviewed, released by the province was February the 24th, 2026. So Council passed this resolution on March, actually number 2026-03-048 to adopt proposed amendment set for a date for a public hearing. So the notice of public hearing to the municipal website was through the Hay Mount Pearl website, was posted on March the 11th. The public hearing and the appointment of a public commissioner was done on March the 10th, 2026. And the post of notice of City Hall to the library, City Hall, library, and the Summit Centre was on March the 11th, 2026. Notice of the public hearing was mailed out on March the 12th. And notice of public hearing section addition to the Shoreline was put in there on March the 19th and then also on the 26th in 2026. So right down the bottom, I'm going to go down. So in March 2026, Public Council adopted the amendment number 27-2024. So it was based on the type of development proposed for single-family home and a multi-mixed use. And the questions, that's what the type of questions came back from 6 of the members that sent in the email. Timeline for the development and traffic impacts on the area. So it's recommended Municipal Plan Amendment number 27, 2024 and the Development Regulations Amendment number 75, 2024 as attached be approved and the amendment documentation be submitted to the Department of Municipal Affairs, Municipal and Community Affairs for the provincial registration. And I so move.
Moved by Councillor Rice, seconded by Councillor Antle. Thank you both. Any questions? Hearing none, I'll call the question before council. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you. And the last one in our kit for planning, I guess is planning, is our development. This is for information purposes only. Development permit listing from April the 1st or April 30th, 2026. You see 4 there in your kit. I'm not going to read them all out, and that's it for our report. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much to you, Councillor Rice, and to everybody for today's meeting, proclamation season, plus a lot of business to be done. So let's do a quick round table before we head off to the Focus on Youth Awards. And first tonight is Councillor Rice.
No break at all, right into 3 items. So I have two actually items that are going to be pretty quick. The first one, I just want to say that last night the Waterford Valley Rotary started their cleanups in the city and on the Waterford River. It got postponed from the 8th because of weather in the weekend. But they're going to be organizing, Bill Stoyles is taking the lead on this. He's already arranged cleanups with multiple groups. We got 15, the Waterford River from the headwaters at St. John's Harbour to the headwaters in Paradise is, he got it broken up into 15 sections. And we've got, I can't imagine the amount, I can't remember the number of people that's already volunteering coming in there. He's already assigned groups to those areas to clean up. Last night, we did a cleanup with the retired RCMP retirees. We had 16 members of the RCMP show up, and we did Coruscant Drive area, up around the co-op plant, up as far as the overpass, and down as far as Commonwealth Avenue. They did a tremendous amount of work last night. I think we filled up 60 garbage bags of garbage. And I want to say a big thank you to the Director of Public Works and his staff. They went up today and picked it all up. It was phenomenal. It was a big mess, quite the mess there. And also, we still got people throwing stuff in the river. It's just unreal how much mess was in the river. So, you know, thank you to, I guess, to the Rotary crew for organizing that. And I look forward to the next 3 to 4 weeks of cleaning up the rest of it. The next one I want to speak on is a very sensitive topic, but I got to bring it to the table here because we've had numerous emails from a lot of residents around the city, and it relates to criminal activity in the city regarding drug houses. They're identified as, and I know this is coming from the provincial government as well, it's been identified as drug houses, trap houses, and halfway houses, and they're in the region, and they're growing in the region. There's a lot of criminal activity involved with this type of housing. They're moving into some of our neighborhoods in the city of Mount Pearl. I mean, we're not blind to it. We know it's happening. As city councillors, you know, we support the people that are in those neighborhoods. My heart really goes out to them because they're living next door to activity all night long. There's no rest in these houses at all. They're 24/7 operations. I mean, 3 o'clock in the morning is the same thing as 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's happening. It's growing. It's getting bigger. I just want to reach out, you know, by the city public hearing here tonight and tell the residents we do support what they're trying to do, but it is an RNC and a criminal activity issue. So there's not much we can do. We can send our municipal enforcement up there, but we certainly need. If it's criminal activity, we won't go in there unless we have the support of the RCMP or RNC. I don't know. I'm sure the RCMP are well aware of it as well. But I just want to mention it tonight that, you know, we do support the residents because the residents and the business in the city are our priority. And we had a good conversation with the Minister Helen Ottenheimer Conway, right? Conway Ottenheimer yesterday. And we brought up to her, and she realizes what's happening, and they're trying to put some plan into place for it right now. And as a city councillor, I just can email the resident back and tell them we're trying to work with them. But it's very difficult for us as city councillors. Where do we go to? What direction do we go in? And it's very hard on those residents in that area. They got to put up with this type of activity. So I just want to put that out there to let the residents know that we do really, really feel for them. So thank you very much.
Yes, very much agree. Councillor Lane.
Nothing for me this evening.
Councillor Fry.
I want to just support Councillor Rice on what he was talking about there, because one of the biggest frustrations is when our residents reach out to us and we're not in a position to be able to help them because it's out of our hands and out of our jurisdiction. But what we can do is advocate on their behalf, and that's exactly what we're doing. And I thought we had a really great meeting yesterday with Minister Ottenheimer, and she seemed very engaged and interested, and I'm glad you mentioned that. I also want to mention that we just got back from a really great conference in Gander. The municipalities Newfoundland and Labrador held their most recent symposium, and the learning, I mean, it's amazing how much you can learn when you don't even realize that you need to learn something, but you always do. And I just want to say thank you to M&L for offering the symposium. And it was also great to see so many municipal leaders from around the province and network and engage with everybody. So it was a great conference. Learn lots and ready to go again now. And on that note, I know tonight is our Focus on Youth Awards. That's why we're extra dressed here tonight. And really looking forward to that. We have the most amazing youth, and I can't wait to see all of their accomplishments tonight. Thank you.
Agreed. Looking forward to it. Councillor Randall.
Your Worship, thank you very much. Yes, we just came back from MNL. It was fabulous. I'd like to give congratulations to the Vice President of MNL, Isabel Fry. It was a fabulous conference, and it was really well done. On Monday last week, marked May the 6th, we had the opportunity with the Chamber of Commerce here in Mount Pearl to meet with a couple of very interesting individuals, Scott McCain from McCain Foods and Stephen McNeil, the ex-Premier of Nova Scotia. And the Chamber of Commerce did this chat, they do it once a month, but this one here was really quite unique. It had talked about early childhood education. Even though it's not a chamber event, he brought it up to us more of as an awareness. And one of the things they talked about, and they're really pushing it, is that early childhood education for 4-year-olds in Halifax, Nova Scotia, 93% of 4-year-olds go to early childhood, early kindergarten. And they talked about how important it was for early childhood. And they were talking that early childhood education is more important than later years in university, because the children are so unique to learn at that time frame. So it was a great conversation, and more if they brought it up for us just for discussion and when we have an opportunity. And we were all given this book, and this was written by Scott McCain's mother, and she's an advocate for early childhood education. And the McCain family are really putting a lot of money into this. So it was amazing what they talked about, and it's something that we should be always considering. And that's everything for me tonight, Your Worship. Thank you.
Thank you all. I just wanted to finish on a congratulatory note. I read yesterday that somebody that we both know through policing and safety circles, Superintendent Dave White, has been promoted to a Deputy Chief of Police. So congratulations to Dave. He's always attended the Focus on Youth Awards, so if you see him tonight, if he does manage to get there, his new role may be keeping him very, very busy, but if he's there, reach out and congratulate him. They do fine work in the city of Mount Pearl. And that's it. We're done for the meeting. So on